So hello everyone, we were studying thermodynamics of materials and we were studying about Gibbs free energy, entropy, enthalpy of the materials. But we shifted from that and right now we are studying about solutions, liquid solutions specifically, and we are studying how solution behave ideally and non-ideally. And we'll take that and study you know the solutions in solid state, and we'll study how the Gibbs free energy can be written for those solid solutions. So for getting the idea and the intuition, we are studying this liquid solutions. So in the last video we studied that these liquid solutions behave something like this. I mean, if there is pure A, at equilibrium there will be some pressure on these boundaries, and that pressure will be nothing but Pa naught. And if A is mixed with some other element, then the pressure will be this Pa, which is different from Pa naught. And this pressure will depend on the bonding between A and B and the number of atoms on the surface, because that's what is getting evaporated. In the last video we saw the proof of this equation, Pa by Pa naught equals Xa, and with this we finished our ideal solution thing. Ideal solution is also called as Raoultian solution or Raoult's law. So this is our Raoult's law. Same can be written for B, that Pb upon Pb naught is nothing but Xb. Now, what if there is some sort of interaction between A and B? So in the last video we didn't consider that. We said that A and B do not interact and we are getting these equation. But what if they are interacting? So let's take these two cases. Here you can see that I have drawn some interactive forces here. So first interactive forces is nothing but attractive force, and second one is repulsive force. So logically we know that atoms have to break the bond from the bulk and then only they can evaporate. So what if there is attractive forces acting on A? If there is attractive forces acting on A, bond breakage will be tougher and hence evaporation will be low. I should write evaporation will be low. So logically I can speak this that Pa will be less than Pa naught. Now if there is some repulsive forces, then more of the atom from the bulk will get evaporated. Not only the surface atoms, the atom at the in the bulk will try to evaporate, and pressure will then be greater than that. So these are the two logical cases: evaporation more, evaporation high, evaporation low. So these are the attractive and repulsive forces that are acting upon, and I can now write that Pa by Pa naught here in this case is greater than, sorry, is less than 1, and in this case Pa by Pa naught is greater than 1. So now it is a bit confusing to think that why we are writing this Pa by Pa naught is greater than 1, less than 1, Pa by Pa naught is greater than 1. So why don't we just write something like this: Pa by Pa naught is nothing but A. So what is this A? A is nothing but our activity. So this A will tell us what kind of interaction is happening in the system. This A is a parameter, this activity is a parameter which will tell us what is happening in the system. If this A is greater than 1, or I should not write greater than 1 and less than 1, but for timing, for making you understand this Pa is less than Pa naught in this case and Pa is greater than Pa naught in this case, I have written this. But we should compare that with something else. I will not talk about that right now, but just for understanding you can think this A is here just to represent these interactions, because system will have some interaction, it will have some sort of chemical bonding happening there, and due to that there will be some, you know, changes from the ideal scenario. These are not the ideal scenario, there are some changes, and these changes are accounted by this activity. So that is the intuition I can give you for the activity. And if this A is X A, this will become our Raoult's law or our ideal solution. And if A is not equals to XA, this is our non-ideal case. A is not equals to XA, non-ideal case. This is our ideal case. Now I should draw some graphs. So here is our composition. I should, instead of writing this, I will write, here is our A, here is our B. So this is XA, this is XB. So this is the increasing direction of XB. This is our pressure. Now if there is pure A, the pressure is nothing but PA naught, and if there is pure B, the pressure is nothing but PB naught. Now if the scenario is ideal, what do you think the pressure of the system will be? The pressure of system will be pressure exerted due to A, P net will be pressure exerted due to A and due to B, and we know that this P is nothing but XAPA naught, and due to B it is nothing but XB PB naught. Since there is no interaction, we will have no extra terms right now. So this is nothing but this line, our ideal scenario. Now what if the case is non-ideal? So non-ideal, we know that this PA is not equals to XAPA naught, rather it will be our activity A of A PA naught, and there will be some activity in B as well. So pressure B can be written as activity times PB naught. I am not writing that, but what I am saying, in ideal it can be either above this or below this, and above this means pressure net is greater than pressure net in ideal case. In ideal, that means repulsive forces are acting, and in this case P net is less than P net ideal scenario. That means attractive forces are acting. And that's quite obvious. I have drawn this diagram to make you understand. We have to break this bond of A and then only it can evaporate. So in this cases bond breaking will be tough, and this cases it will let it go. So that's why we have greater pressure, here we have less pressure. So this is our ideal and non-ideal scenario. And activity, I'll just rewind it in a minute. Activity is nothing but a parameter which will represent the interaction between components. In ideal case it is simply the straight line, because the pressure is simply the summation of both pressures. In non-ideal case our scenario is something like this. It can be either greater than ideal or less than ideal. So thanks for watching.